Hey, and welcome to our weekly word. Every week we're going to come to you and we're going to share you a word that is something related to hunting, fishing outdoors, some sort of tip, but also has some sort of spiritual connection to it. I'm Ross Graveling from Sportspersons Ministries International, and we're an outdoor ministry that seeks to walk alongside of hunters and fishermen and people who just love the outdoors and join them in their adventures, but also point them to the ultimate adventure that we get to take someday. And for us, that means walking with Jesus and what that implies for this life and the life to come. So hopefully you find these beneficial and enriching. And this week, we're going to bring you the word patience. Patience is a word, as hunters and fishermen, we are well aware of. We know that we need lots of patience, especially on the days when the bite isn't good or the deer aren't moving. We're just not seeing what we want to. We need to have lots of patience, and we know that sometimes patience pays off in big ways. And so we're going to jump into a hunt of mine from a few years ago where I had to show lots of patience. This here is my third encounter with this deer, all of them with a bow, all within 50 yards. So let's jump in and watch this hunt where some patience persevered. Well, you can see I was not successful in that hunt. In fact, I had to show more patience. I didn't have a shot I was comfortable with. The animal was too far away, or he was walking or quartering towards me a little bit, and so I had to continue to show patience in order to get a shot that I was comfortable with. And unfortunately, that never happened that night. But thankfully for me, a few days later, he was able to come in again, and I was able to put a good shot on him at 15 yards, perfectly broadside, smoked him, and thankfully my patience in that time paid off. It can be hard, though, to show patience and to wait for that right shot, but we know that in the end it's much better to do that, even if the results don't turn out the way we want. It's better than wounding something or leaving the field early and just all of the experiences we might miss out on. So we're nearing the end of October here, and we need to stay patient out in the woods and keep persevering. The best of the deer hunting season is yet to come, so don't get anxious and go in and overdo things. Stay patient, keep with your game plan, and it's going to work out with you. From a spiritual aspect, just thinking about patience, I think a lot of times we can think God is not patient and that he's not patient with us and that he's just there ready to judge us, when in fact the opposite is true. God is very patient and gracious with us. Psalm 68:15 says, "But you, O Lord, are a God, merciful and gracious, slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love and faithfulness. Turn to me and be gracious to me." So maybe we think God isn't patient, but he is extremely patient, and he continues to wait for us to come back to him to experience his mercy and his love. So I don't know what your experience with God is. Maybe you view him as someone who has no patience left for you. That is not true. He is gracious and abounding in love for you, and would love to talk to you more about that. If you ever have questions, you can contact us at Sportspersons Ministries International, spi-int.org, and all of our contact information is on there. Subscribe to this, and you will be sure to catch a weekly video that has some tips and has some sort of spiritual insight and something to think about. Maybe it helps you draw closer to God or to experience him for the first time. This week's episode here was brought to you by Southside Storage.